Hi, I'm Ali and welcome to the China Repair Studio. So today I thought I would do a continuation of our English delftware vase, which is 18th century, and it's one of a pair. Now on a previous tutorial I have actually washed it and cleaned it, and there are three pieces here which were broken and glued very badly together. So I've taken those apart, I've re-glued it, and it's now put back on and in place. So today I thought I would finish off by putting some Milliput on this crack here, and then there's also another crack with some sort of wibbly wobbly edges which we're going to do here as well. Now before I do so, I just would like to thank everybody, all my subscribers, people watching. I have now reached 1,000 subscribers and it's really appreciated. Thank you very much. I really am pleased. Now I do also have another little bit of news. I'm in the process of recording a course, and it's a 15 module course, and it's basically china repair, ceramic repair for beginners, and it's got about 15 modules, basically the basics of how to repair china, pottery and porcelain. So in the next few weeks I will tell you more about that, so it should be finished in a couple of weeks' time. So if you haven't subscribed before, please subscribe, please like and please share, and also please do the thumbs up. That would be great for the algorithms. And let's get going. Right, so here we have our vase. Now the first thing we will need is a cup of water and some Milliput. Now this is the super fine white, which is really easy to sand. It's very easy to apply, and I really do rate it. So we're going to use the white one. It does come in various other colours, which I'll go through in another tutorial. Now I am going to use, because of the amount of, it's quite large pieces to place back on, I am going to use a little bit of glue, and I'm using the slow hardening araldite. Now with that I also use titanium powder, which isn't necessary, but you don't have to, but it does stop the glue from going yellow. So that, and a trusted cocktail stick, and just a lid which I collect off bottle tops from milk and various sorts. Really handy to put in for glue and paint. Right, so the first things first is to mix up our Milliput. And to mix it up, it comes in two parts. Let's take these out here. And the two parts here, so we have one which is white and another one which is in a blue wrapper. And you want to take, it's literally 50 of one part, 50% of the other, and you want to combine it together. Always make sure once you have taken it out of its package, to always put it back in, wrapped up, so it doesn't dry out, because it can dry out quite easily. So we'll just place those back in. Now just put those there for a second. Now I have actually already mixed and combined them two together, and I've made it in one large ball. So I've used both of those. I've mixed one part, got it together, really combined it, so basically it feels like blue tack, nice and squidgy and pliable and easy. And then once I've finished combining them both, I always like to just put it into a ball. I do find it easier to get ideas of how much I need, quantities if you like. So we've got our ball ready. After I've done that, now I'm going to mix my araldite. Again, you just need 50 of one part, 50 of the other, and I won't need very much. So here we are. So I'm just going to just put a tiny bit in there, and again always close the lid, put the top back on straight away, and another one part here. Let's see, I just need about that much. Now what I like to do is combine them together before I put in my titanium powder. So we just need to mix those. It almost goes like a cloudy colour when it's combined. And then once that's mixed, we just want to add the titanium. Oops, good job, it stays in the pot. Right, so just a tiny little bit. If you put too much in, it can actually make the glue not so strong. It weakens the glue. So there we go. And so you just want to combine that. Right, lid back on. Now I do have an implement here, which it's not necessary, but it's quite useful, which we may or may not use. It's got a flat part here. Right, so what we're going to do first is I'm going to literally take it, put it into half, and get a rough idea of where everything's going to be placed. So I'll roughly place it there. It doesn't have to be precise because we are going to be sanding. If you want to, you can get a rolling pin and roll it, but actually today I'm just going to do it freehand. So I can see roughly how thick it is there, and you can get a rough idea. So once we've kind of got the shape and roughly what we're after, I'm just going to apply some of the glue. Now you don't want too much, you only need a little bit to adhere. I'm sure the Milliputs would actually stay on anyway, but it's just an extra insurance policy, if you like. So let's put this on here. We don't want to go over, and a little bit more on this side. Right, so once we've done that, we want to take our part here. I can see it's slightly longer there, but we can always add a little bit more extra. And you just want to place it. Just place it all the way along there. It doesn't have to be precise. You want to make sure that on the other side that it's overlapping as well, because you want something to be able to sand into. It's better to have too much than not enough. Saying that, we can always add more Milliput at a further date once we've sanded. If you don't think it's enough, you can always add more. And you just want to be just put that on there. Doesn't have to be the exact height because we're going to sand it again. And I'm just literally putting it on like that. And you can just tell by your fingers, you know, make sure you can feel if it's roughly smooth, and it doesn't really need to be smooth enough, but if it's smoothish, not too rugged, if it's going to go over, you want to make sure it's going over the actual old part as well. In this case, you can actually use our implement, dip it in some water, and that will actually smooth it more as well. And if you want to, you can take bits away, which actually will make it a bit easier when it comes to sanding. So you can do this if you want. Not necessity, but could cut down time. A little bit more there. You know, you can just keep playing around with it until you're quite happy. Again, I've just dipped my finger in some water, so it does soften it again, and you can really squidge it in and get the shape right. Now, you can take some kitchen roll if it starts to drip, just like that. So there we are, we've done one part. So what we need to do now is do this part here. We also here have some cracks from where obviously when you have pottery you've always got bits chipping off and you will end up with cracks inside. So we'll keep a little bit of Milliput for that. Actually, we might even do that first. So with my little implement here, just want to take a little bit of the Milliput. If you can see where the crack is, you just want to, I don't know if you can see there, just want to fill it in like so. Do that on the top. Then we'll take a little bits more of Milliput, and again just fill that crack in and down there. I think it's got a bit more on the top there as well. A bit more there. Take a little bit more, and you can just keep going through. Again, you can take the finger, put it into, dip it into the water and just smooth it down a bit. Just make sure it gets right in to those cracks. And then we can do the same on the outside as well. So again, we just take a tiny bit of the Milliput, and where I can see any little cracks, any lines, we can just smooth it on. Like that. And again, I can see a bit there. And we can see a tiny bit of a crack there as well. Not forgetting the top. Can do again, finger in, and you can just really squidge it right in. Right, so what we're going to do now is, I'm quite happy with that, just make sure that's around there. So now we need to just do this part here. So again, we want to take our glue. Let's give it another mix around a bit. There we go. And we don't need to go right into the parts here, but it's mainly this main part along here. And a bit on there. And I think we'll just put a little bit of glue. Where are we? Just on this part here as well. Right, so done that part. So we'll take our last little bit. There's quite a lot here, so you probably won't need to use all of this. And again, you can use a rolling pin and you can get it to how you want it. But you do want it, again, to be slightly over than slightly under, because you need some wiggle room for sanding. So actually it's more of that shape, isn't it? Not that it needs to be precise. You can always cut a bit from my finger. So just start to get a feel, sort of wedging that one in. Start getting it to the sides. So we can always take bits away. Doesn't have to be precise because we are going to be sanding. The main thing is to make sure you've got plenty on. I can see we're missing a little bit there, so just push that in. Again, just dip our finger in. You can go as thick as you like or whatever. It doesn't have, as I say, have to be precise, because we are going, depends how much work you want for yourself at the end. Now obviously I've got quite a lot of product here, so again I've just got my little implement here. If you don't have anything like this, Even just a very small knife would do, as long as it's not, you don't want anything too sharp. I'll just take some of that away. As I say, you can, if you wanted to, make the Milliput so it was exactly the same shape and size and place it in. We all work differently. There we go. So I'll just do a bit of that again, and then I would just lastly so I'd rather go over than not have enough. And again, just take some kitchen roll. And then you just want to make sure that you've covered it all on the inside. Again, we've got plenty of space here. We can take some of that off if we like. Actually, I probably won't even bother because I'm just going to sand that very quickly with some coarse sandpaper. But I just want to make sure, let's get some more water on there, that it's completely covered and it's overlapping. Yeah, that's all good there. Fill that there. Again, you can go by feel. So there we are. I'm going to leave this here now to actually harden and dry, and it's going to take 24 hours. The longer you leave it, the better. So I'm going to leave that for 24 hours or so, and in the next video we will get sanding on both of my vases here, this pair. So again, if you haven't subscribed before, please subscribe, please like and please share, and also again, thumbs up, and thank you very much for all my subscribers, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.